Now, let's get our fire control radar all set up. So we're now going to activate it. We're going to get it all set up for us. There it is. And the fire control radar is great. It's what other people refer to as the Longbow system. But the Longbow system is the digital integration of systems in the battle space that have an ability to talk to one another and use target acquisition and sharing information. That is the Longbow system. On this particular helicopter, we're using the fire control radar, the synonymous dome that spins around on the top. Well, spins around all the time you activate it. It's a very, very clever system. We can say to it, we want you to prioritise ground-to-air threats to us, but we can tell it to prioritise vehicles that are stationary, vehicles that are on the move, or vehicles that are on the move and stationary. You know, we can chop and choose with different schemes, as we call it, and different mission settings. Not going to cover any of that. Let's go to the fire control radar. There is the radar. That is the cross section that represents. We're smack bang, you know, at the bottom there where my crosshairs is. We're just there, and all we need to do is to instigate a scan. Now, it's wise because of MCON measures. In fact, let's turn George off. George, we want you to go away. Sorry, George. Go sleep now, pal. I'm going to turn that off. So we can instigate a scan of the fire control radar. That will pick up some targets, and then the radar will prioritise the threats to us. Now, a couple of things we need to do in order to be able to use the fire control radar as a target acquisition source, as well as our Hellfires. The first thing we need to do, I'm going to pop that IADS up right now, is we're going to say, right, okay, well, we want the fire control radar to be the primary sighting system, and we are going to engage ground targets. And all we need to do then, and again I'm going to take this off purely and simply so you can see what's going on here, we're going to instigate a scan. Now, it's good MCON measures to scan once. It only needs once. It's as simple as that. It doesn't need any more. But in this case, it could also just keep scanning. Now, when would they do this? Apache part? I don't know, to be honest with you, when they would have a continual scan on in a sort of 360 environment of full-on warfare. I don't think they would. I think they would literally pop up, do one scan, get a picture, and then disappear behind a building somewhere. Bottom line is, they're only going to do it once. I think if they were flying from A to B and it was a high threat, I think they'd probably have it on continuous. I don't know. Again, I don't know. There's lots of other ways that they could negate by nap of the earth flying and so on. So I'm not going to tell you why they would put it on continuous or single. For me, all I need to do is just do a single scan to get a picture, and that's all that's required. It does need a full scan though, as you see. But once you've got that scan, once you have got a picture, we can then pew, and the FCR, the fire control radar, will pick it up for us. We've got to select our weapon system, obviously. On the bottom right hand corner it says lock on after launch normal. So all we need to do now is fire. The fire control radar will change each target after each missile is fired. So, rifle. Now, all the time, the fire control radar is programming each missile to change target. But remember what I said, the bottom line is, once those missiles are launched, and you can see the time of flight there, once those missiles are launched, you know, the lastminute.com, it might hit something else. Now, let's break our hover. Let's go take a look. Let's change to guns. Now the sight control, the preferred sight system is the fire control radar at the minute, as we can see. So if we shoot our gun, it's not going to go where we want it to go via the helmet mounted device, because it is tracked to the FCR, and you can see the rounds landing there, down at the bottom there. See the rounds landing. And as you can see, look, it's decimated this whole area. There are some fantastic videos out there on how to use the different systems with the Apache for the missiles. The FCR, the front seat, back seat, Ks, Ls, you name it. And as I said, although a very bad example of an analogy, my apologies, but you know, we don't take into consideration, if we can't drive, the amount of effort and energy that's gone into learning how to drive a car. And of course, just because you pass your license, pass your test, doesn't mean to say you're a great driver, does it? It takes years and years and years. It's no different with this. You're not going to be a master at this after one video from me on a quick introduction on the Hellfire missiles, but I genuinely do hope that that is of some use to you. A lot of people, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to using the Hellfire missiles, can get confused, complicate things for themselves when it comes to using the FCR or using George or using themselves or whatever. Here's my advice after doing this for nigh on 30 years. Find a system that works for you, become a master at it. When you can do it with your eyes closed, whether that's using George, whether that's the front seat, whether that's FCR, whether that's one target at a time, doesn't matter. Just master that one method of acquiring a target and engaging it. And once you have mastered that one method that you can do with great muscle memory without thinking, then that is your primary way of using missiles in that platform, in this case the Apache. If there are other ways thereafter, then start to look at those. But because there are so many different ways of using the missile and engaging targets with missiles in the Apache, let's pop that, in the Apache, it complicates and confuses things for the casual simmer. Because you need to put tens of hours into this really to be completely and utterly weapon proficient. It's a you know, as an accurate a sim as you can get when it comes to flying the Apache. That includes the weapon systems. So find your method, get good at that one method, and then from there grow, learn, and of course, you know, enjoy the journey. That's what it's all about. And just like flying radio control helicopters, if you can land it and get it back and you're in one piece and safe and sound, job done. There you go, legends. I really hope you've enjoyed that series on the AH-64. A very quick and dirty look at life. But for those of you who have never seen the module, I really hope it's been of some use to you. We're still going to look at the other helicopters in DCS World. I think probably, though, I'll just do one video where we'll probably do a mission or something like that and mix it up a bit. Right, legends, I'm out of here. Take care. Till the next one. Bye-bye.